It makes me dead happy to do something like this, because it's the sort of thing I would have loved to have done when I was at school. In fact, I tried to set up a school newspaper when I was at school. I tried to set up a school radio. I don't know how I was going to set up a school radio station, but I tried to set up a school radio station. I wrote to the local paper to suggest that I have a column when I was 12, because I thought I had a high opinion of myself, clearly, that the local paper should have me as a columnist. So this is an opportunity, I think, for people, for youngsters, to get involved and just have a really good go. And you never know, it might be something that is perfect for them. You don't have to do this because you want to be a journalist. Doing this can just be a hobby. I'm sure, I remember being a teenager, I had a diary every single day. Now, some of it was just, "Dear diary, he hasn't looked at me ever. I feel so alone," and a lot of teenage angst. But actually, a lot of it was making notes of stuff that was going on. I remember what I wrote the day Princess Diana died. I wrote loads of stuff. And that, to me, is a sort of form of journalism, isn't it? You're journaling, it's journalism. So I think this is just such an exciting opportunity. And for youngsters to be able to sort of document what's going on in their lives right now, a crazy time, a time when the world is spinning around on what feels like a different axis. I think we're going to have some really interesting points of view coming across, and I'm just really pleased that I can be part of it. If I was still in radio and I was hiring someone to work in radio, and they came to me and didn't have a podcast or didn't have experience on a podcast or hadn't even considered working on a podcast, if you're a student kind of thing, I'd be asking why. Why haven't you done anything to do with it? It doesn't have to be huge amounts of listeners to have an impact. This is one thing I tell everybody. It's not about getting the Joe Rogan figures of like millions and millions and millions. You're not going to get the big Spotify deals like Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, right? I think the top 1% earners in podcasting is like 100 people or something like that. And there's a million plus podcasts out there. But what it is, it's the impact you make. So I do a podcast for a charity, so it's to raise awareness of pancreatic cancer. We don't get a huge amount of listeners because, quite frankly, I don't want people listening because it's a hideous disease to be having, or to have a family member affected by, or someone affected by. But generally, it tends to be people within the pancreatic cancer community who listen. But the impact it has is huge on the people that are listening. So we've had someone say that it's kept them going when they've been going through treatment. It's kept them going when their husband's been going through treatment. It's given people insights, and people have heard about trials that have been, like medical trials that have been going on, and been able to sort of get more involved in those as well. So for me, that is absolutely key and important, to raise awareness of something quite as important as that. But it doesn't matter that it's probably lowest listener numbers, like headline numbers. You go, well, that's not very many. But actually, it's impacting lives in a huge way that, say, maybe, a podcast that gets thousands and thousands of listens that gets, doesn't maybe impact as many lives in a percentage wise as that. So I think podcasting is absolutely, if you want to work in radio and you don't have a podcast, you are letting yourself down. Because it's great, just practice. It's a trial run, remember? So absolutely, just do it, and you learn stuff, and you'll try stuff that you wouldn't normally get to try in radio, say. Because this is the thing, when you go into a radio station, or if you're going to a paper, or if you're going to TV or whatever, you will get very quickly drawn into the way things have always been done, because that's the way they've always been done. And you also become one of the people that does, well, this is the way it's always been done. It's how we've done it always. So if you go out and have a go at your own thing and come up with your own ways of doing things, you might discover a brand new format. You might discover a way of doing things that clearly hasn't been done before, because you're not put into that, if this is the way it's always been done way of doing things. So get out there, try and experiment before you get constrained by managers. When I was at school, and in fact university, I wasn't very academic. I'm not very good at exams, but I am good at talking. And I think, had I had the opportunity to do something like this and go, oh, actually, whilst I struggle in the lesson, but this is actually something I am good at. This is something that I can do. I can tell a story. I can talk about something I care about. I'm interested in the news and I can talk about it, but writing it down in an essay doesn't really work for me. That I'm not as good as, I'm not a writer for whatever reason. Put me in an exam situation, I panic and I just can't do it. But actually I can give a presentation, or actually I could deliver a news report about this. Having that at a younger age would have been just such a confidence boost, to be honest. It would have just really helped know that, not I was thick, but know that I was able to do something, that it's not all academic stuff, that, you can be a journalist, or you can talk about what you want to do, and you have got that ability, and it's not all about, getting, it's not even an A star anymore, a 9 or whatever it is, that you can present yourself in a different way and present your knowledge in a different way. I think that would have been a really good thing for me. Give it a go. I entered all the competitions going as a child, didn't win anything, but it gave me practice and it made me more determined and it made me more keen to do it. And you know what? It could be life-changing for you. This could be the thing that you go, oh, hang on a minute, this is what I'm good at. It could spark something like that. And if nothing else, you'll have fun, because journalism is fun. And also you've got something to show off. Tell your mum and dad about, tell your aunt and uncle about, tell your teacher about, and you never know where it might lead. It could be a career, it could be career defining.